you've ever struggled with something that seems so heavy that you can't get out of bed or you don't want to do anything, I know because I've been there. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Today's a little heavier one for me because it's one of my lowest points in my life. I don't know if it's the lowest, but it's pretty far down there. Today we'll talk about when I moved out of the house with mom and dad and when I wind up having my first child and the struggles I had with that and the child's mother, the anxiety that I had and the depression that I didn't realize how bad it was at the time. I do now, but at the time I did not, as well as going through court and financial problems. If you know somebody with anxiety or depression, there may be a good reason that you're here now. Here you guys go. Enjoy.
So I met this girl and I moved in with her, moved from mom and dad's and with her. We wound up having a child together, which is a huge blessing, but also a huge challenge. At the time, I thought the right thing to do was to propose and get married. So I did. I bought a ring and proposed, but we had a lot of issues. We fought a lot, wound up splitting ways and breaking off the proposal. I went through the custody papers with her, and that was one of the roughest times of my life. I got depressed, felt down, there'd be days I'd wake up and didn't want to go to work. I'd feel sick. I didn't know what it was at the time. The sickness was just me being super depressed and my stomach being in knots and just wanted to lay down all the time. But yeah, I was. That cost money that I didn't have. Questioning, am I doing the right thing? I can't go back because we don't get along. It's not healthy. So I thought I was doing the right thing. I know I did the right thing. I wasn't sure. I cared tremendously about my daughter, but I didn't want to go back and have her exposed to a negative situation between her mother and I. So that brought a lot of stress on and anxiety and depression. I had seen a doctor for it at one point because I was constantly being sick, right, in my stomach. And he gave me some medication, but at the time, I was so worried about the side effects that I wound up not taking anymore. That was not the right thing to do now that I know more about medications and stuff, but I didn't. So if anybody's wondering, did I have any help back then? Yes, they gave me one set of pills to try and I didn't follow through with them. So anyways, I wound up running out of money. We're trying to work on this custody thing. Turns out, long story short, we just wound up having to sign the papers. They were pretty much general papers plus the other, what I think is silly stuff that my daughter's mother wanted to put in there, right? Well, that's the whole reason that I had an attorney and was trying to fight it because I thought it was ridiculous and didn't need to be in there, but hey, whatever. If anybody ever goes through this again, just get the basic papers done. Just go to the courthouse and get the general custody guideline papers signed by both of you. And just be done with it. I only speak for Texas and they're good papers, so just go do that. Don't waste any money on attorneys unless you have to, just to get the papers done, but go down to the courthouse and get the papers drawn up and sign them. At the end of the day, we just wasted a bunch of money we could have spent otherwise on our daughter or our lives.
So there you go. There's my story. That was truly one of the lowest points in my life so far. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Back then, I did not know I was dealing with anxiety and depression, even though the doctor had suggested it. If I'm being completely honest, I thought anxiety was a joke. I thought anxiety was something that you just label somebody, that they can get over it, and it's just an excuse, that anxiety was an excuse. Believe me, I was totally wrong. Totally wrong. Anxiety and depression is no joke. It is hard. If you've ever struggled with something that seems so heavy that you can't get out of bed or you don't want to do anything, just know you are not alone. There's a lot of people like you, including me, out there. Do not try to take this by yourself. You are not alone. You are not alone. And just know going at it alone is the hardest route you can take. Anxiety is something I'm still dealing with today. If you are too, comment below anxiety. Or if you are dealing with depression or know somebody dealing with depression, comment below depression. And if you've been through a similar situation, comment below I love my child and I'll reach out to you. We're not in this alone. We're in this together. Those of us with problems and those of us who think we don't have problems, we are all one family. Sometimes it takes a village, and I want to be part of your village. Don't be afraid to reach out. I am here. And if you are here too for others, comment below, I am here. So thank you for hanging with me. It truly, truly means a lot. Listen, if you haven't yet, would you consider liking this video, subscribing, and following so that we can stay connected? One community, we are family. Love you guys. Jeremy Drummer, out!